Breaking news.
Drama! Yes, drama when it comes to Manchester United.
It's all kicking off.
Man United won't break the bank for him. And if Man United won't break the bank for him, they've got other targets.
What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well. Welcome back to another edition of the Transfer View. And good grief. Good grief. It feels like Rocky Horror Picture Show settings. I feel like I'm in a time warp because this isn't 2026. We're 7 days into the new year, folks. This isn't 2026. This is 2018. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is 2018. We've just lost our manager in the winter time, and we're getting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, possibly. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick. Because in the last 24 hours, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United's former interim turned permanent manager, has held talks with Manchester United about a possible sensational return, and more talks are planned for today and the coming days. Today's match day. We're playing Burnley at Turf Moor. It's not just Ole, it's Michael Carrick, because legitimately, folks, it's 2018. And Michael Carrick is also holding talks with Manchester United about possibly coming in to be the caretaker manager until the end of the season. There's talks it could be getting the band back together, folks. Yeah, why just have Ole? Why just have Michael? Why not have both? Kieran McKenna, he's at Ipswich. He's doing his thing. But, hey, replace Kieran with Darren Fletcher. We're laughing. We're laughing. And I'm going to be honest, folks. This is a safe space, isn't it? It's a safe space. I have seen people getting very nostalgic. I've seen people getting very excited and thinking about the good times under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And that's natural, isn't it? You know, it's natural human behavior to only think about the good times, block out the bad times. And I'm doing my best here. Yeah. I'm doing my best here because what I don't want to do is, pee on the bonfire, and I don't want to stifle other people's happiness or other people's excitement or other people's enjoyment. But what are we doing? Folks, what are we doing? This is when you take off your rose-tinted glasses and you realize, hey, it's not 2018, it's 2026. Okay? Yeah? We've gone through all of this before. We're not doing it again. Well, guess what? We are doing it again. This club is an absolute mess. It is a state. This is beyond a joke. Beyond a joke. People want to talk about, with Ole, they'll go, I tell you what, but finishing second in the league and the away record in the pandemic, and on top of that, there was the counter-attacking football, and and good vibes came back, and that's what it was. It was fantastic. Yeah, it was fantastic. Well, we can remember the good times, but there was also a lot of bad. A lot of bad. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season, until we got Bruno in January, right? It was a mess. Then we got Bruno, and the pandemic happened, and we got in the top four. Next season, all right, better. But season after that, I mean, he went because it was bad. It wasn't good. It was bad. It was bad. And I mentioned this a couple of days ago. You know what my worry is? My worry is with Ole coming in and maybe Michael Carrick coming in, is that it might and it probably will get a little bit better. How can it not? Like, how can it not get better with what we've seen? We've been winning once a month under Ruben Amorim for a year. Once a month for a year. Under Darren Fletcher, under Ole, under Michael Carrick. We might raise that to twice a month or 3 times a month. And as much as many people will say, I'm not going to get giddy, I'm not going to get carried away, we will. We all know we will. We will. We will get carried away because That will feel unprecedented, won't it? That will feel unprecedented. God, we went from winning once a month. Now we're winning twice or three times a month. And it's great. You know, it's great. But is this the right thing for Manchester United? You know, that's my worry. And I know that, again, people don't want to hear that. And I'll see in the chat, it will be positive. Again, stop crying. Don't listen to this deluded guy. No, it's great. Ineos have got a plan. Ineos have got a plan. That's been proven in the last few days, isn't it? Ineos have got this great plan. You know what I mean? Oh, they've got it all figured out. Jason Wilcox, Omar Parada, they're 3 or 4 steps ahead. Darren Fletcher, they're 3 or 4 steps ahead. They know exactly what they're doing. No, they don't. No, they don't. And like I say, it's okay, cool. Ollie comes in, Carrick comes in. You know, Ollie's back at the wheel, but just folks, this is what I'm sort of saying. We've got to be so careful. You know, Ollie coming in, and why is it says, and we'll get to the article in a bit from David Ornstein and Laurie Whitwell, he's the leading candidate. Well, of course he's the leading candidate. He's coming in for free. He's coming in for free going, I don't care about money. I don't care about contracts. I want to right some wrongs. Ineos have gone, did he say free? Free? We'd have spent 10 million sacking Ruben Amram. Get in. Come on. Get in. Get in. Yes, we've been cutting money left, right, and center. For barely any money. Get in. Get in. You know, come on, come in. So don't get mistaken here. I don't have an issue with like, oh, Ollie's coming in to steady the ship and this, that, and the other. Don't have a problem with that. All right. Steady the ship. And I am one of those people that I look at it and go, look, right now, who else are you going to get? It's a disaster. It wasn't planned and this, that, and the other. Fine. No problem with that. But do not get swept away in the nostalgia of it all. Do not get swept away in if results improve, which actually I think they will, sweep it in, right? Sweep it in. Don't get swept away with that, because this genuinely, this is a shit show, an absolute shit show of what it is. And I see stuff about, you know, this morning, people going, Luis Enrique, he's going to come in at the end of the season. He wants a new project. Luis Enrique coming into this shit show with a manager in Ruben Amorim who was actively failing and still didn't have control of it. You think Luis Enrique, Champions League winner Enrique, is going to come in and be like, it's fine, Jason Wilcox, he can tell me what to do? What? What are we doing here? What reality are we living in here? Oh, yeah, 2018 all over again. So, yes, this is the Transfer View. Good morning. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Yeah, I mean, let me know what you think about it, folks. Yeah, let me know what you think about it, because, like I say, I am trying to do my best here with this. I've got a lot of different emotions going on. I've got the emotions that are like, well, look, it's very negative at the moment. And look, Ollie's a good caretaker. He's proven that in the past. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a good caretaker manager. When he came in before at United after Jose Mourinho, he's good caretaker, right? And the problem last time was that he was a caretaker manager who got the job permanently, and he was still at the quality and the level of a caretaker. You know what I mean? Of a caretaker. So if he came in and it was just till, you know, the end of the season, fine. But all trust is completely gone. You know, all trust in Ineos, all trust, honestly, with some Man United fans, is totally gone. So don't get me wrong here, right? This isn't like a swipe at Ollie. This isn't a swipe at, so you're set, we might as well just get nobody in. We might get nobody in. It's not that, right? My point is, move that to the side, right? Move that to the side. And still look at this club. In 2026, we're going back to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick again. If you'd have said to someone 6 months ago, if Ruben goes, would you take Ollie as a caretaker? 99% of you would go no. Absolutely not. No, we'd get someone else in. We wouldn't. No, not doing that. Not doing that. And it's just, I honestly, I just scratch my head, and I feel like it is over the last 24 hours. It is a little bit just like, which we are trying to make ourselves feel better in the chaos and the madness and how ridiculous it is. What is going on at this club at the moment? I think we are looking at Ollie and going, oh, well, it wasn't that bad, I suppose. It wasn't that bad. He was, he did better. He did better than Ruben, so it'll be, well, he did better than Ruben, actually. So that wasn't bad. And it's just, again, we remember the good times, don't we? And that's human nature. You always remember the good times, but there was a lot of bad there. There's a reason he got moved on because it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. And it was like, wow, Ollie's out of his depth, when he was smiling and giving the thumbs up when we were drawn against Everton 1-1, going, yeah, all right. And everyone's going, get him out. Ollie, PE teacher, tactically adept. And now we're like, bring him back, get him back in. It's like, have we forgotten? I guess we have. I guess we have. And maybe that's because since then it hasn't got much better. So we're like, oh, and it's not to say that, it's anything against Ollie. And Harry says there, it's just a caretaker role, but that's my worry. It was just a caretaker role before. And I don't trust Ineos, and I don't trust the fan base. I don't trust the players. Like I don't trust. I don't trust anyone now. I don't, because I think it will get better. And this was kind of what I was saying yesterday. And I got some shit for it at the time, but I still believe in it. My worry is that it gets better. My worry is that it gets better. Not like, oh, so you want Man United to lose. I know. I worry that it gets better. And because it's not, in terms of the league position, it's not, it's not bad. Where we are in the table, it's not bad. So, and the league's not that great either. So if you could get someone to come in and they can just win more than once a month, 2 or 3 times a month, we're laughing. We'll probably get Champions League football. And they're like, look at this. And if we were to say, let's say we got Champions League football, there would be this conversation again, wouldn't there? About, hey, Ollie, you know what I mean? He did all right. And, counter-attacking football. And, I don't know. Maybe. And who's actually around? And, and Ineos, they'll tell Ollie what to do. He'll do it. He'll do it. Hey, Jason Wilcox says, Ollie, I think you should do this. All right, cool. No problem. No problem. It's like, you know what it is, folks. Yeah, really. I'm scared. I am scared. That is the real concern that I have, is that we're falling into the same trap again, which is just when Ollie came in after Jose, it was, look, it's negative, it's bad, put some smiles on faces, make people happy. And then we were like, wow, we're really happy. Let's do it again. And we're in the same place. Come in, smiles on faces, win some games, see what you can do with us in the league. And the problem is I think he might do it, and I just, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like we've been here before, and I just cannot believe the rose tinted glasses that we're doing. And I cannot believe that we're doing it again. I just cannot believe, particularly when one of the big criticisms of Ollie was, Ollie, he's just a yes man to the Glazers. He's just a yes man to Ed Woodward. He's just a yes man to John Murto and those guys. He just listens to them. He's just there for the ride. He's just happy with it. And he's going to come back in. He's going to be a yes man again, even if it's to the end of the season, to Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada this time. And it's like, what? I remember the last season there. We've got Man City coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend. And I remember the last time Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played Manchester City in his last season. But everyone likes to talk about Ole's great record against Pep. The last time we played Man City at Old Trafford under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, They beat us 2-0. And afterwards, Kevin De Bruyne came out and did an interview and went, yeah, 5 minutes before the game, Pep came into the changing room, went, we're changing all of it. And it was easy. We had to walk around. You know what I mean? We walked around and it was easy. Great. It was fine. And then you go, we want that back. we want that back. You know, we lost 5-0 to Liverpool at home in that season. And Dro says, why are you focusing on the negative, mate? Because fans are blindly only focusing on the positive. Because you've got, if you've got a family member or a friend, they're going to go back to an ex in a bad relationship, and they're going, yeah, but I tell you what, we had some great holidays. We had a great holiday though that time. And do you remember that Christmas? Oh, it was great. And at that time we went for that little sort of day vacation. It was fantastic, wasn't it? Really enjoyed that. And you go, yeah, but guys, towards the end, you two weren't made for each other. That was pretty toxic. Yeah, but remember Christmas? And someone's got to be that person. Someone has to be, if you're a friend or you're a family member, someone has to be to that person and go, oh, yes, that it did happen. Great memories, but let's, you know what I mean? You must remember this. You must remember this. And they're like, yeah, but that was fantastic. And you go, sometimes you've got to have those friends in your life. You do. You've got to have those friends in your life, because if you don't, you will make the same mistakes over and over again. So I remember, that'll be my catchphrase from this morning. I remember that 2-0, which was actually worse than the 5-0 against Liverpool, by the way. Yeah, they embarrassed us, Man City, at Old Trafford that day. Liverpool 5-0. It was embarrassing, that day. And like I said, till the end of the season, Caretaker, cool, fine, no problem. But I don't trust Ineos, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, the Glazers, obviously. I don't trust them to not get swayed away by it if it gets better. And I don't trust some fans. And if you're offended by that or you're upset by that, then I would say you need those people in your life that need there to remind you of these things, because you've got to move forward. You can't keep going back. Revisionism, rose-tinted glasses, that's a dangerous thing. It's a dangerous, dangerous thing, right? So Ollie at the wheel, cool, on a temporary basis, but my guard is fully up right now. And you can call me toxic, you can call me negative, you can call me whatever. My guard is up, because we've been here before. We've been here before, and it does kind of baffle me. And I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a player. I think, and it gets the club, obviously what he did for it, Champions League winner. Solskjaer has won it. Even the night in Paris and the comeback was great. But at the same time, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like we're now in the stage where people want to be told things that will make them feel happy. You know what I mean? Will make them feel happy, which is Ollie will come back and the away record will be again, and we'll be doing numbers over Pep, and we'll finish second in the league, and this, that, and the other. Look, there was some good, but there was a lot of bad. There was a lot of bad in there. And it's not even just judging Ollie on his last season. That first full season, the vast majority of it was shit, right? And then we did something we don't really do that often anymore, which was spend a lot of money in January. Oh, and then the world shut down and we got in the top 4. So it's like, oh, and that away record that we did, the moment that fans came back into the stadium, that away record disappeared, because we could only do it when nobody was watching. If a tree falls but nobody's there to watch it, did it make any noise? If Man United make an away record with no fans there, did it even happen? Because we say to Liverpool when they won the Premier League that it didn't happen because it happened in COVID. Well, our away record happened in COVID as well. It's all bullshit. It's just, oh my God. Super chats here. Werewolf Ghost says, scored 66 and 73 goals in the Premier League in 1920-21. Still not topped. I'm not scared of winning games because of what ifs. Grow up. What happens, happens. All right. Look, you could tell me to grow up. And like I say, I do think we'll get better. This is the other thing. I think we'll get better. I really, really do. I think we'll get better because it's not hard when you see what Ruben Amorim's doing. I think if anyone comes in, they probably end up doing better. But I'm not scared of winning games either. What I'm scared of is the people that run this club. That's what scares me. I'm scared of the people that run this club, and I'm also scared of some people in the fan base, okay? I'm scared because even now, post Ruben Amorim, some people are still defending his record. 38% win percentage, and people still defend that like that was acceptable, right? And I'm scared of parts of the fan base because they'll justify that, Ollie coming in and maybe winning a few games. This is why he should be getting it permanently, because it's better than Ruben. Let's forget Ruben. Ruben's no comparison. Do not compare anyone to Ruben. It's the worst ever. In the same way that we can't compare to last season, because it was the worst season ever, we can't compare like Solskjaer or Fletcher or Carrick or whatever to Ruben. Because if we do, they'll get the job. They'll get it. That you know what I mean? So that it just I just see how things are going, and it just scares me. If we're doing vibes and hope, I'd want Van Persie. Tabaslow says, I've said it before and I'm saying it again. This fan base deserves the Glazers. Do you know what, Tabaslow? I genuinely did think of you, and I'm glad you put in a super chat this morning, because Tabaslow, over the last 5 years now, since Ollie's left, every time Ollie's name gets brought up, Tabaslow's always there going like, no, no, I'm not doing that again. So I'm glad you're here. He says, no one in the world want him, but this fan base is hyped, crazy. Nothing will change till the local fan base don't change. Noam De Guerre says, Ollie undermined at every turn by the owners. While he was interim manager, Herrera was still here. He left that summer, and we have to buy, to buy a suitable replacement after all these years. This is the other thing, right? This is when I talk about revisionism. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, don't get me wrong. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer recommended Erling Haaland and wanted Declan Rice and wanted Jude Bellingham and, wanted other players, and he didn't get those players. So you can certainly make an argument of didn't get the players that he wanted. Cool. But let's also not pretend Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wasn't backed, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I was just looking at his transfers, right? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got Harry Maguire for 80 million quid. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got Jadon Sancho for, was it close to 80 odd million pounds? He got Bruno Fernandes. We signed Rafael Varane. We did sign in the end Cristiano Ronaldo. Whether or not he didn't want him, all right, fair. But let's not pretend that Ollie did, with nothing. He got players came through the door. Players came through the door. Oh, and yeah, that whole like Harry Maguire thing of Harry Maguire captain. Harry Maguire, the captain. No, he would the terrible captain. Hey, it was Ollie. That was Ollie. Ollie made him captain. That time which everyone hated Maguire. Now they maybe don't hate him as much. That was then. That was then. Do we not remember? Do we not remember this? I feel like that's gone. Boom. Manny says Wilcox admitted to tampering because of his coaching ambitions. Why aren't we demanding Wilcox's resignation? They can all go. Like I said, I have no trust, no faith in them, which is why I'm worried now, which is why I'm still angry now. I'm again, not getting swept up in the giddiness of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming back, because for me, that's falling into their plan. That's what Ineos want now. Let's not forget this, yeah. Ineos, they've got no plan, nothing. It is fully Wizard of Oz settings. The curtain's been pulled down. There's nothing there. There is no project 2028. There is no long-term plan. They are scrambling right now. Remember, Ruben Amorim, worst coach since like the Second World War, worst coach in Premier League history, didn't get sacked because of results. He got sacked because of a fallout with Jason Wilcox. So Ineos were content. They were content with what they were seeing, with what is going on, right? So, yeah, I don't trust them. They can go. But that's also why I'm not falling for them going, dangling the keys in front of us, going, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, vibes, Michael Carrick, vibes, and, and counter-attacking football. Ollie's back at the wheel, shiny toy over here. And so we go, yes, look at that shiny toy. And Ineos can then cower in the corner and go, oh, good, they're not talking about us again. They're not talking about us again because we fucked it up. We're completely messing this up. So we'll give them Ollie. Look, here's Ollie over here, Ollie. And Ollie's, I can't believe I'm back. I struggled to get a job. I was at Besiktas and I got shit canned. Man United, I'll come back for hardly any money. Of course I will. And you're like, good. They're not talking about us. They're not talking about us. So yeah, they can go. Don't trust them. But my worry is, even Ruben Amorim, when Jason Wilcox tried to sort of tamper and, had his coaching ambitions, stood up and went, well, I want to leave, then Ollie won't do that. Ollie won't. The next guy who they hire, maybe he will. Maybe he'll go, this isn't how it works. I'm out of here. Ollie wouldn't do that. Ollie's happy to be here. You tell me what to do. I'll pick the team. For all of the stuff in the chat a minute ago, who said it? Ollie was undermined at every turn by the owners. He still stayed. Why? Because he was happy to be there. Again, this is the thing. He was undermined, but he was also a puppet. He went along with what was asked of him because he was happy to be here. He's like, I can't believe that prior to this I was at Mulder in Cardiff. I'll come back in. Yeah, of course I'll stay at Manchester United. So as far as, again, don't give me he wasn't backed by the last owners, blah, blah, blah. Well, that didn't matter to him because he was happy to be in the job. So this time around, he'll be happy to be there. Make recommendations. How we should get this player. Don't get him. That's fine. I'm just happy to be here. So this is where I sort of go. I'm not. They could all go, but I'm not getting carried away. I am not. He wanted Erling Haaland, got Igalo. Yeah, it's pretty shitty, but it wasn't enough for him to leave, and it wouldn't be enough for him to leave again because he loves Man United. We all do. So when I talk about revisionism, let's not pretend like he was really hard done by, and he wasn't what people were criticizing him for 4 years ago or 5 years ago, how long it was, which was he's just this Glazer puppet. And now he's back in. He'll be an Ineos puppet / Glazer puppet again. And he's good at it. He'll do well. He gets Manchester United, but it's incredible to me. But do you know why it sticks into my head so well? It's because that was my first year here at United View. It came in 2021, 2022 was my first season. So those first few months of Ollie are like ingrained into my brain. I remember the reaction at the time. I remember the sort of pushback to the results. I remember the criticisms of Ollie, that he was this Glazer puppet and he was just there and it was no ambition from the club. And yeah, there was vibes, but we need to make the next step up and we needed to do this and we needed to do that, and now we're happy that he's back. And it's just, I can't believe it. Manny says, what if a Champions League spot, a run and a cup win? Just saying. I just don't know. Terrence says the best Ollie can do is get us into Europe and bow with his head held high, that he achieved what he's targeted. If he wins the FA Cup, that's a bonus. I hear you. I hear you. But I don't trust the club, and I really don't trust the fan base, because obviously it happened with Ollie before, and even in that interim spell, his first one, it didn't actually end that well. The run was great, and then we really kind of sort of collapsed at the end of that season. We kind of bottled getting into the top four, didn't we? And then, with Erik ten Hag, fast forward a couple of years later, Erik ten Hag won an FA Cup, and that was enough to sway us of like, well, let's give him another go. So for all of this, well, what if he gets into the Champions League and he won an FA Cup? He'd end up staying. As much as people will say, no, I'm not going to get swayed, I'm not going to do that again. When you go from winning one game a week, if we then got in the Champions League and won the FA Cup, you kidding me? We get so carried away. Of course we would. This is a bit, so it's a bit like when KG sometimes goes, I'm not doing this again. And I'll go, yes, you will. And he'll go, no, I'm not. And I'll go, yes, you will. And he'll be like, how can you say that? And I'm like, because I know you. I know you. We know the fans. We know ourselves. You know what I mean? We come on. Like, what are we doing here? And sometimes it sucks to be that person in the room that has to go like, how feasible is this? And what are we actually doing here? And then you do get the people, which will probably say in the chat, like, don't kill my fun, or this is so negative. But some you've got to live in reality sometime, because we'll just avoid our problems, either way. Hacky says, just with the contribution, I appreciate that. Laza says, if Ollie signs, he won't just be interim. It's too much admin for 6 months. Fletcher should do it, and Ineos should target Nagelsmann or Xavi. Manny says, to be fair, it was a 3-year project. They said they back him and they lied. Eminem says 64 million window in 2021. Yeah, he got second in the league. Ollie came out to the overlap to say the club wanted Sancho. That's not backing. But you know what? Yeah, this is the other thing with Ollie. I remember, again, my catchphrase, I remember that last interview that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did with Man United, MUTV, right? When he got emotional and he said, you know, Carrick and Kieran, they'll be fine. What did he say? But I won't do any interviews. I won't be speaking out. You won't hear from me. I'm not going to destabilize the club. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And he did. And he ended up doing it on the overlap anyway, going, well, I didn't really want Cristiano. I didn't really, you know, Sancho. I said Haaland and they didn't get it, blah, blah, blah. Like, remember that? Like, what? When he said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. What are we doing? Like, Kristen says, what's the better squad? Ollie's 5 years ago or today? Wow, the expectation of that squad was certainly much higher, wasn't it? That squad was meant to be the next step for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, wasn't it? You know, that was meant to be the next step. Was meant to be, you know, you finish second, bring in Sancho, Varane. Maybe you didn't want Ronaldo, but those players, maybe another, and win the league. You know, I'd say the one 5 years ago. Still, 5 years ago had, you know, Rashford, Ronaldo, Martial, Greenwood. You still had midfield that consisted of Pogba. You had Matic, you had McTominay, Fred, which is still better than our midfield today, by the way. So 5 years ago, you had Varane, you had De Gea. To be fair, it's not even really much of a question. That squad 5 years ago shits all over this squad, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Cavani. That's absolutely. Ray says, Owen, get the coming to America. I'm happy to be here. Voice clip with Ollie coming in. And Peachita says 6-1 Spurs and 5-0 Liverpool. Ollie at the wheel. I forgot to play the Oxford Natural clip. I'm so fired up this morning, right? So Oxford Natural. Maybe by the time I'll come back, I'll calm down.
Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. Two of our own, Owen, lost over 100 pounds in 10 months and KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds and Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds. And Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work.
Just like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, maybe a couple of days, he might be getting to work. Yes, you can scan the QR code right there. You can get up to 70% off your first order. Links in the video description. It's pinned in the chat. You can get your Optimum Day, which is good for your weight loss goals. You can get your Optimum Night, which is good for your restorative sleep. It's a brand new and improved formula. As always, you can get Optimized today. No, Manish, I've not calmed down. I have not calmed down. Steve says, blimey, let's all knock Ollie today. Any positivity? Do you know what? It's not even knocking Ollie, right? It's not, as I've said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Solskjaer has won it. And look, it's not to say that there weren't good elements of when he was here before, but I just find it baffling. I just find it baffling how people just forget. I just remember the criticism of Ollie, like, but he can't win a trophy, and that Europa League final, he lost to Villarreal. He can't win a trophy, and he could only get to semi-finals in the FA Cup, and that's all Ollie could do. And he's a PE teacher, and it's like, well, and like I said, I genuinely do think if he comes in, I think he'll do well. I think because I don't think it's going to be that much difficult to do better than what has been done over the last 12 months, right? Because the squad is still decent. The league is all over the shop, isn't it? Really is. all over the shop. So if you can get a little bit of consistency, then you'll fly up the table. But well, you know what it is? It will be just, if I think those same, what I will say, yeah, is those same people that are like really, Ollie, back at the wheel, be the same people that, in like, if let's say he did well, there'll be the same people that'll be like, right, you should get the job permanently. And then we'll be the same people in 18 months' time that'll be like, God, we shouldn't have never given the job to Ollie. Well, why did we bring him back? Why do we do that? You know, Professor X says, Owen, chill, man. It's a caretaker position. All right. I'll be here at the end of the 6 months. I'll be here at the end of the 6 months. No, it's not this. It's a bit like, again, it's that friend or family member. You two getting back together. We're taking it slow. We're dating again. We're dating. They're not moving in. They're not moving in. You two used to kind of be married though. Yeah, but we're seeing each other. You go, that didn't end well. Yeah, but don't worry. We're just friends again. All right. You're just gonna be friends, are you? Yes. We're just friends. It's just friends, right? Because there's a lot of history there. There's a lot of baggage there. No, it's fine. It's fine. You know, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Oh, and I think you forget all the good football we played under Ollie at times. What's the catchphrase? I remember. It's crazy that people don't. It's insane to me how people don't. You know what I mean? Show me the 74% win rate. Show me that we finished. You forgot that we finished second. I'll show you the. Actually, you know what? I'll show you the trophies that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won at Manchester United as well. Just here. See those? If you look closely, you'll be able to see that second place trophy in there. If we look close, you'll be able to see that Europa League final trophy there. If we look closely, we'll see those FA Cup semi-final trophies involved in that one. We see those? Like, I just don't get how it's like we just forget, don't we? We'll just forget. We'll just forget, and we do it all the time. And it's just and it's not, again, do not get me mistaken here. It's not that I am against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming in as a caretaker, but don't let it distract you from the biggest issue here, which is that the Glazers are still here and Ineos are absolutely fraudulent. They're rubbish. They've got no plan, right? That's true. You got the winning against Pep Guardiola trophy, even though that great record against Pep, you know, on our own patch in that last game, by the way, we got embarrassed, humiliated, worse than 5-0 against Liverpool at home because they toyed with us like a cat with a ball of string for 90 minutes. That's that trophy in there. And I say it all the time, right? Super Arch says it there in the super chat. It's true. We don't know what we want. We don't know what we want. All the time. We get swept up in it. And we're actually, you know what? We're talking about Ollie or Michael Carrick and what have you, yeah? And it is distracting again from the real discussion, which is Ineos. Ineos are a mess. They're scrambling now. They're having talks with Michael Carrick and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because Ruben Amorim basically told to piss off, even though they should have told Ruben Amorim to piss off months ago. It took for Ruben to be like, I'm out of here. Peace. I'm done. And now they're going back to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because because it will make fans happy, and it'll, and football and 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 counter-attack in football, and it'll get smiles on faces, and then, like we are doing now with OLE, we'll forget. We'll forget. We'll forget. We'll just stop. And I remember OLE, even in that good season, I remember games like against like Sheffield United, which was just complete mess. And there's loads. I mean, if you go, what I would actually say to do a bit of like almost homework on this is just go back. It's still there. You know what I mean? Just go back. Like the videos on here on United View are here from 2021. The tweets are there from 2020 and 2021 of like, it wasn't good. Like, it was not good. Yeah. Where am I at? Here. I think I got to here. Sanjit says, agree, Owen. Don't trust Ineos. OLE for 6 months only. Best thing is to announce the permanent manager, so it can't be OLE. Owen, who would you want next? I got asked this on Sky yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. And honestly, Sanjit, I don't actually have a very good answer for you. And the reason I say that is because, once again, going back to Ineos and what you said at the start there, Sanjit, I don't trust them. I really, really don't. I don't think they have a plan. I don't think they have a clue. And I think what we need, for those people that are saying, Luis Enrique and all that kind of stuff, Man United need someone that good. Man United need, a Carlo Ancelotti. Man United need a Thomas Tuchel or a Nagelsmann, someone that top level. But I just almost see it now as close to impossible that we could get them, honestly. Because not only from where we're at, as a club, but also just because of the level of interference that Ineos are going to have. Any good manager, any top manager who has achieved things in football, who has won things, who has managed at the big clubs, right, and had success at the big clubs, would take one look at Man United and how Ineos are running the club, and Jason Wilcox, in the manager's ear, trying to tell them what to do, and go hard no, hard pass, no thank you, nope, absolutely not. Because they would go, no, I want to be the manager, not the head coach, and I want to have control, I want to have authority, I want to have autonomy. That's going to be my call, and I want to have some influence over these things. And if Ineos are like, well, we don't work like that, we're not going to work like that, then I think top managers would just go, no. That's why Thomas Tuchel, when he was having those chats with Ineos, he said no. That's why we didn't get, your Roberto De Zerbi. He said no. So, that, and again, this is why I look at OLE coming in and, you guys are saying, oh, it's only temporary. That's why I worry about it even being temporary, because I think Ineos will get comfortable and go, I tell you what, look at this guy. We're winning some more games and he listens to us and we tell him what to do and he does it. And he's just, again, he's happy to be in the dugout. So we tell him and he recommends signings. And if we don't get them because we don't want to, or too much money or too difficult, we give him these signings and he'll just take it and he'll go, thank you very much. Cool. Not a problem. So that's why I worry about it. That's why I worry, even as a temporary, because 6 months, that's a long time. In football terms, a lot can happen in 6 months. And a lot of people can get comfortable in 6 months. Fans can get comfortable in 6 months. Players can get comfortable in 6 months. And, the Ineos can get very comfortable and go, actually, you know what? Yeah. All right. We like how this is working. Let's just carry it on. Right person wasn't available. We'll give you a year contract. So to answer your question, Sanjay, about who I would want next, sure, I'd love for an Enrique or an Ancelotti or someone like that. But I just think it's impossible for us to get it, or near to. Because I think there would have to be concessions by people that are running the club. And I don't see that. I just don't. And I just find it laughable that one of the big talking points of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's last tenure at Man United was that he was a puppet for the Glazers. And now we're celebrating him possibly coming back in and being a puppet for Ineos, which is just insane. Absolutely insane. Ketchadil says, give Ole the job. We want United way. We're not Man City or Barcelona. Well, I agree with the last sentence. We're not Man City or Barcelona at the moment. We're nowhere near. The concern is that your second sentence there, catch a deal. We want the United way. I would say to you at this point, what even is that anymore? Genuinely, what even is the United way anymore? Because it's lost. And the parts of the fan base, it was shown against during Ruben's tenure that parts of the fan base are lost because they were trying to justify, the Ruben Amorim win percentage and the results. They tried to justify that. It's lost. If you're saying the United way is sort of counter-attacking football that Ole did, again, I remember where there was frustration that was all we can do. Well, all we do is playing counter-attacking football. Why are we always playing counter-attacking football? We should be dominating games. Where's that? Where's our pressing? That's why people were excited when Ralf Rangnick came in, because they were like, gegenpress. The father, the godfather of the gegenpress. He taught Jurgen Klopp how to press. That's what we're going to be doing, because we don't do that. We're just playing on the counter-attack all the time. And now we're twerking back for it again, going, we want counter-attacking, United way. It's funny what can change in 5 years, isn't it? Mr. Darkside says, bring me Nagelsmann. Super Arch says, honestly, the club and the fan base don't really know what we want. There isn't a win-win scenario at the moment. Shenanigan says, Ole was 8th with less points and goals halfway through his first season. We're doing worse in the league than now. It was bad, but he got backed. Mr. Darkside says, Wilcox worked with Nagelsmann during his tenure at RB Leipzig. We must keep interim, simple as that. When was Jason Wilcox at RB Leipzig? I remember that. Is that a thing? I have him just as Vavell. I was going to say, definitely not Wilcox. Christopher Vavell. Okay, I'll give you that, but not Jason Wilcox. I gotta be careful. You know what I mean? I gotta be careful. I don't know if you guys saw James threw out a stat on the red carpet on Monday that no one pushed back to, and Twitter was very angry about that, saying that how dare no one challenge James on that and say that what he said maybe wasn't accurate. Like, they've got these stats off the top of their heads that they can just pull like that. But Vavell, yes, Vavell. Cool. Appreciate you, Mr. Darkside. And United Vlog says, Owen, this United fan base is so inverted, it's a joke. Honestly, it kind of does just baffle me. I'm not gonna lie. It does kind of baffle me. Because, and I don't even, it's not even, for an I told you so thing, but I just feel like in 6 months' time, we're just going to be back like we were in 2018. Like we're in this time warp, like properly we're in this time warp. But to look at it positively, what I will say is that I do think if it is Ole, that comes in, is I do think he will, I think he'll do well, because I don't think it's not, I don't think it's going to be too difficult not to do well in comparison to Ruben. I mean, that was one of the justifications for people that were big on Ruben Amorim for keeping him, was they were like, look at last season, it's better. Well, okay, then basically anyone that comes in will probably end up doing better then, won't they? And I think that they'll probably, whoever comes in, right, whether it's Darren Fletcher, whether it's Michael Carrick, whether it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, whoever comes in, they're not going to do this, tactical revolution or anything like that. There's not enough time, is there? So whoever comes in, most likely will go to a back four. It will probably be 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. It's less complicated. It's less complex. It won't be a lot of individual tactical instructions. It will be like it was when Ole came in 2018, where he'll just go to the players, look, go out there, express yourself, enjoy yourself. You play for Man United, you're better than most of the teams in the Prem. And you go out there and they'll get results. And they'll probably do better than what Ruben was putting out there at Manchester United. And with the league as is at the moment, that's probably might be good enough to get us into the Champions League. If you can win 2 or 3 games on the spin, you're laughing, you're sorted. So I think whoever it is, if it is Ole, I think will actually do quite well. So I don't have necessarily an issue with that. As a Man United fan, as I've said before, all I want is to see my team win. That's all I want. I want to see my team win, and I want to see my team be better than everyone else, be better than all the other teams, and have some pride and go, look at my team. My team's the best, and we went through it, but we came out on the other side. So if whoever it is, I think we'll do okay. But conversely, as I mentioned, that is what kind of scares me, because I don't trust the people running the club. I just don't trust the people running the club, and I don't trust us as fans, because we can't remain objective. We've proven that before. And whilst we would be, if whoever comes in and does well, we'll get swept up in that, and then we'll forget about Ineos, about Omar Barada, about Jason Wilcox, about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and we'll get swept up in, because last 2 years we've barely been winning matches. So if we go from that to winning even somewhat consistently, we'll lose our minds. We'll lose our minds. And then we'll find ourselves back in this position in sort of 18 months' time again, when we go, oh, yeah, Ollie, maybe he wasn't the right guy. Or, Michael Carrick maybe wasn't the right guy. And actually, the way Ineos are running the club is shit. These good managers that we want, they don't want to come in because they don't want to be whispered in the ear from Jason Wilcox. Which is why I just can't shake off. I cannot shake off this anger and just negativity towards Ineos, and how, because they're just the same. You know what I mean? They're just the same. CC says, for someone who was supposedly a bad coach, so many of you are extremely worried he will actually do, I think you mean well at the end there. It's not even that. It's not even that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, right? He's a good caretaker. That's the point. There's a difference between being a good manager / coach than being a good caretaker. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a really good caretaker manager. That's why he did well when he came in last time. He did well when he came in last time because it's not really tactics or anything like that. It's just lifting moods, bringing up morale, and just and getting the team to the end of the season. And it's not actually even the fact that I'm worried about Ollie. I'm not that worried about Ollie. I'm worried about Ineos. I'm worried about the Glazers. I'm worried about the fan base. That's what I'm worried about. Ollie's by the by, right? Put him to one side. It's that I'm extremely worried. You mentioned the phrase extremely worried. I'm extremely worried about Ineos. I'm extremely worried about us as the fan base, because I did it. Erik ten Hag won an FA Cup. He should stay. He should stay. Wasn't the right call. Again, Ruben Amorim this whole time. No, it's actually good. It's actually good. Ineos was basically saying it's actually good. It didn't sack him because of results. Oh, it's actually good. It's actually good. It's not. It's not. So I worry that my only way of going to prevent what I see as a really bad scenario, which would be a good scenario at the start in terms of winning games, to prevent a bad scenario is, again, it's just prevention. It's just just can't do it, because if he comes in, then I just see it going down the path of he might do well, and I don't trust Ineos. I don't trust Ineos to be objective and go, all right, good for 6 months, but you're only a caretaker. Okay. I don't trust the fan base to, again, have that level of rationality of be like, all right, it was only for 6 months, because I don't, I really don't. And, as Tony says there in the chat, hindsight is a wonderful thing. And this is the mad thing, is we've actually got it this time. We didn't have it last time. That's what makes this even more baffling, is that hindsight's a wonderful thing. With the Ollie thing before, the hindsight wasn't it? We should have said thanks, but no thanks at the end of the season, wasn't it? That's what we should have done. That's what we should have done that time round. We should have done it. Everyone said, Ollie, that interview he did at the end where he was like, it's been great. We had some great moments. Now it's time for the next person to do it. That should have been at the end of that interim patch. That's what it should have been. But it wasn't, and we didn't do that, and we extended it for years, and then it turned into a mess. My worry is I don't think we can even use hindsight this time around. You should be able to sort of learn from experiences and lessons and go, look, we ain't going to do that again. But I don't think any of us can sit here today, Wednesday, January the 7th, and go, Well, we won't do that again, though. We won't make the same mistakes that we did last time. Don't worry. We've learned and we've grown as a fan base and as a club. We've grown. We won't do it again. And I would be if that was Ineos and the fans saying that to me, we won't do that again. I will look you square in the eye and go, bullshit. Bullshit. These are well-known liars saying that they're not going to do things. And I'm like, okay. Of course you won't. No problem. Sure. All right. No problem. Manish says, succumb to Owen. Tell me, how good does it feel? And look, this is the other part of it. Do not get me wrong. We've got Burnley tonight, Turf Moor. Win that match. I'm going to celebrate it. Right? In the same way that even in dark times under Ruben, I remember when we beat Palace, I remember getting criticised after Crystal Palace because I dared celebrate that game that we won. You know, I'm like, we won. Oh, fuck you, Owen. Don't say you're happy with this. I'm happy we won. So it'll be the same under OLE, you know, or whoever it is. Win a game, I'll be happy about it. But my eyes are open at this point. Yeah, my eyes are open, and you know, I'm hoping that Darren Fletcher tonight. I thought he spoke quite well in this press conference. Hope he does well. Hope we do well. Hope we win against Burnley. It's mad, isn't it? Because if it was Ruben Amorim, you'd be like, I don't care. They're a newly promoted side. All options are on the table. That hasn't really changed just because Ruben's not here. So I still go into this game against Burnley this evening going, all options firmly on the table. Because it's even more uncertain now. We don't know what we've got. We've got, obviously, players coming back. Bruno should be back. I think Cobby's back in training. So, you know, and who else did they say back? Did they say Maguire? Someone else was back. Mason Mount, that was it. Mason Mount is back as well. So players coming back should be, you know, should be better. But still, again, just because the coach has changed and may continue to change, all options are still on the table this evening. No doubt about that. All options are on the table. I hope we win. I will celebrate if we win. And I hope we can go on a bit of a run and get some consistency and qualify for the Champions League. And, you know, and we have a really positive second half to the season. But it shouldn't, I don't think, divert from what is the plan. As of today, the plan, allegedly, is that it's going to be a caretaker. And at the end of the season, we get a permanent coach. If we get to the end of the season and that is no longer the plan, I will say to a lot of people, come back to this show, Wednesday, January the 7th, 2026. Not even an I told you so. I think it wouldn't even be like, oh, I told you so. I just might be done. I might just have to just like retire because I'll just be like, I can't go through this again. Particularly, I really want to make a Stranger Things reference, but I can't because it's like a season 5 thing. I don't want to spoil it. But, and it's a really good, it perfectly sums up the situation that I feel like I'd be in. Let's just say I would feel like I'm trapped in this sort of scenario whereby you go through this whole process, then you get to the end of it, and then you basically just have to relive it again and again and again and again and again. And it just goes around like that all the time. And then you realize you're never getting out. You're never getting out of it. So, yeah. But anyway, we will be live this evening. It's 8:15 kickoff. So I'll be live at 6:15. And who knows, by that point, we might have some more details as to what's happening, who's going where, who's coming in, who's not coming in, and what have you. As of right now, I know we haven't really done a lot of news this morning. There's been so many super chats and everything else flying in. It's been a brilliant show. Really appreciate it, guys, particularly on a solo show. The latest news, Solskjaer, leading contender. He had talks with the club yesterday. Face-to-face talks in the next coming days are happening, not just with Solskjaer, but with Michael Carrick. There is some discussion about whether that will be together as some kind of team, or it might be individually. It might be individually because, of course, Michael Carrick, since moving on, has become a manager in his own right, was the coach of Middlesbrough. But they might be trying to get the team back together. Instead of it being McKenna, Solskjaer, and Carrick, it might be Fletcher, Solskjaer, and Carrick. It was interesting because yesterday it really did feel like it's OLE. This morning, maybe not so much. It's kind of backed off a little bit, like, oh, we are going to talk to some other people, but it feels kind of Solskjaer-ish, to be honest with you. I think it'll be Solskjaer. In all honesty, I think he is going to come back in, and again, just to demonstrate how little Ineos were prepared and thought about this, is Ollie basically rung up the club, went, "I'll come in, I'll do the job. Don't worry about contracts. Just pay me as little as you want. I'll come in," and and Ineos all over that, of course, all over that. We'd have to basically pay you anything. Yeah, right, come in. Yeah. So, tell me, how good does it feel? Ollie at the wheel, cool, but at the same time, that feeling, that tell me how good does it feel? Don't let it distract you. Again, like I wish I had some keys or something next to me. I don't really have anything that's like shiny, but it very much is. Oh, I can use the screw that fell out my chair that I don't actually know where it came from in the chair. So this is just a screw that's come out of this chair that I don't know where it came from. Right? But use this. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Look at this. Ollie's coming back. Ollie, I'm Ineos. Ollie, and everyone's going, oh, this is fun. This bit spins. Look at that. This bit spins. That's nice. That's fun. And you go, forget that. Forget the screw, right? Look at these people. Look at these people. These people, they're a mess. They don't know what they're doing. It's only got a Solskjaer. It's not 2018. It's not 2021. It's 2026. Like, oh my God. Oh. Anyway, we'll be live 6:15. As always, DJ will be with me. Flex will be with me on the match view. I think I'm caught up with the supers this morning. Yes, I am. If you haven't already clicked the like button, haven't really pushed the likes this morning, of course, because it's just been, therapy. I do feel a bit better. Rob Dorset from Sky saying there will be no meetings today. There'll be no meetings today with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick. The focus is on Burnley. So we'll find out tomorrow. It is a concern, the screw. I'm not going to lie, because it's come out and I'm like, well, one day, maybe during the match, I'm just going to lean back and I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go. But that's a nice metaphor for Manchester United, isn't it? This fell off. I don't know how bad it is yet, but eventually it's going to F me over, isn't it? It's going to hurt me. Eventually, this is going to hurt me. I just don't know when. That is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and the chair is Manchester United. And I leave you on that this morning. Yeah, my work is done. Appreciate everyone, as per usual. We'll be back with the match view later on. Road trip will be coming from Flex as well later. So be sure to lock in. And breathe. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good one. Back later on. Peace.